Hello, guys. Have you ever wanted that Snowflake should have a single place where you can write SQL, manage files, integrate with Git, and even use AI? Everything should be in a one place, or everything should be a one window. Well, yes, Snowflake just made that possible. So, in today's video, we will be diving deep into the Snowflake Workspaces, which they have ruled out or which they have released in the public preview the last week. Your new unified environment for developing and testing and managing everything inside Snowflake. So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we will be going to be explore the Snowflake workspace, why they are game changer, and I'll also walk you through some of the key features and limitation from the existing Snowflake UI. We will try to compare with the Snowflake worksheet so that we can highlight some of the key features which they have added. So Snowflake Workspace provide a unified editor for creating, organizing, and managing code so that like across multiple file type, and you can use it to analyze data, develop models, and build pipeline. They're going to give you the feasibility so that you guys can analyze data, develop model, and build data pipeline seamlessly. It is going to be served as a central hub for various development activities moving beyond the capabilities of traditional worksheets. Now, if we talk about the key features, that these are like eight, which we're gonna highlight. Although, like when you will be exploring it, you may be finding some other key features. The very first thing is the unified editor. So you do not need to toggle between a different tools. Everything runs directly now in Snowflake. Second is advanced file management, where you can completely manage your file. Like you can just organize your work using the folders, nested folders, and drag and drop functionality. Having, if you do have an existing worksheets, so you can just drag them into the workspace folder that with very ease and the cleanness. Next is the customizable layout. So here you can just customize the layout. Probably you can split the panes, like split the query pane and view multiple files side by side. So if you are going to work on a comparison, like if you're going to work on like going to work to compare the two codes or one code in the two different sheets, then you can just split the pen and then it's gonna make your work very easy. Next is the Object Explorer and the query history. So here you can explore your database, your tables, everything in single window. Unlike the worksheet where you may need to go like to the you may need to switch to the different windows. Here we can do everything. And into the query history, you will not only just going to find a complete query history pen. So whatever you have executed, and you will be checking the stats also. Now, next is the column statics and visualizations. Although it was into the Snowflake worksheet also, it was available into the worksheet also, but here they have changed a bit. Means whenever we are going to query any table, in the first column, like in the result, they will be giving you the column statics, which is going to tell you that okay, if there is one value, then it is that 20%, 30%, and going to give you some graphs. Other than this, you can switch to the chart window where you can create a small visualization. So it's kind of a small basically it's a mini data visualization inside Snowflake itself. Then next is the Git integrations. Obviously, we guys wanted that okay, how we can push or simply code, we can branch off, commit, push, and even resolve conflicted. So which you can do over here. For that, I have created a dedicated video where I have shown you that how you can create a DBT projects or how you can integrate Git with the Snowflake. So the same way you're gonna do it. One of the great thing over here is that you can have a Snowflake Copilot integrations, although you just need to check it whether that particular LLM is supported in your region or not. But you can just simply give a prompt and that's gonna help you to write SQL query. Okay, now let's look at everything. So when you are going to switch, now everyone who is going to create a new account, and when you will try to write a SQL code, it will directly open, or by default it will open to the workspace. Okay, so we have the six tabs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you can see, although we will be exploring it. So I'm going to take you to a UI overview of the workspace. In the very first thing here, you will be checking it This is the workspace window. Okay, so this single area to organize all your files and folder with drag and drop and nested folder support. The second is whatever the worksheet we do have in our existing environment, we will be open, like we will be able to look into over here. In fact, by default, it is going to open to the workspace. But if you want to switch back to the old UI, that also you can just click on these three dots in the worksheet and go back to the worksheet. The third is the database explorer, which is objects as well as the data products. So whatever the database you have, the schema, the tables, everything you can switch over here. And the good part is that if you wanted to query any tables, you can just simply right click and put it into the query window. So we will be like I will be trying to show you each and everything. And the fourth is where you are going to write your query. So it's going to be a battleground. And you can see that the context, the setting of the context is also a bit different than the normal worksheet. Here we do have this account admin, this compute warehouse, but these database and the schema usually come over here in the normal worksheets. The result and the query history is coming in the same pane. So you can look into it when we have executed it, what is the query ID, how much time it took when we executed it, and then we're going to get the tables in the chart, which is the result window. We can simply look into the time also, the total number of record. We can filter the results, and we can just even search anything into the result. So let's just jump into the Snowflake and we'll try to show you here. So from the very first, like if you click on the home page and you can just show the navigation. So I created this account 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And if you will click on this plus icon here, an SQL file, this is gonna open a workspace by default. If you want to switch back to the normal, or let's suppose that you have an existing account where by default setting you wanted to make it to the workspace, what you can do, you will go to your account, go to the settings, and there we do have the preferences. Sorry, you will come under the general preferences and you can just enable it. Set Workspace as default SQL editor for the account. You can even write a statement or just simply alter account and set the workspace. You can check on the Snowflake documentation. So you can enable it if you have an account admin, and otherwise you won't be able to do it. If you'll go back to the Snowflake workspace now, okay, now you can rename it. So anything, maybe like okay, just practice.sql, and we can type anything. Here you have to set up a context. So you will be setting up a database and schema. So if I go Snowflake sample data, and then can I select any schema. And now I can write any statement in the same way which I was writing into normal worksheets. You can simply use the same shortcuts like Control Enter to execute your code. So nothing different here. Same way here, if I just hide this query history till this pen or query history, and I'm just hiding this navigation, you may look like that this is normal worksheet, but it gives you something extra. This database explorer is is in the left bottom. Then we do have this worksheet, and this we have the workspace. So if you wanted to go and write it onto the worksheet, that also you can do. But there is some different, like this is one icon is different, then this is an SQL file, this is normal worksheet over here. Although this is going to be open the .sql only, but sorry, not .sql, I guess. Wait a minute. No, sorry, yeah, .sql because it's a SQL worksheet. Okay, so can we change it to the py? I think this Python worksheet you wanted to write it. Maybe yes, we can do it. So that's something which you can try by yourself. I'm just closing it. Now, if you will look at it, there is this I am symbol is coming. Why? This is a get AI suggestion. If you're going to type it, write me a query, plus you just have to give a prompt and that will help you. So it's a Snowflake Copilot is in the workspace that's gonna help you to write your SQL code. Okay, however, I'm not gonna use it now. Okay, now if you will look at into the chart window as an all, so there is one symbol just under the table. It's so show column stats. If you will click on it, then look at it, it's gonna give you a kind of a profiling. Look at it. What I was talking about, that if any column has some values like this, here we see this household is coming 20.1% time. So isn't it cool that okay, we can get an idea that okay, if there is one column, so I can just simply say there is a city column in my table, and how many times India is coming, 20%, 30%, 40%, something like that. So it's gonna give you a very good idea about it. So 100% filled, 0% null. Similarly, you can click on that and you can see, you can check it, the sum, average, 0% null, the values is varying from which to which. So that gonna give you a complete statics or complete profiling. Here, when you click on the search result, you can simply search for the anything value. You can put it over here, and that gonna give you a filtration. But that option was available in the worksheet too, so nothing new. Here we can get it, the number of results, the column selections. If you will click on it, which all column you wanted in the output, so that also you can do. So they have copied some of the features of basically the worksheet. I won't be saying the copying. They have the same feature with the copying with the worksheets. Then we do have the query durations, which is going to tell you compilation, query provisioning, and execution, same as this. Then we can simply download the results. So this result is going to be similar to the worksheet. The few differences that it gonna give you a column stats. Because if I, let's say, if I wanted to switch back to the previous UI, so here you see this is my worksheet. So I can just simply click on three dots and open in worksheet. Now, when I do that, it is going to open a normal worksheet for me. Okay. Now, this query profiling was that stats was not that good here, although it's calculating stats and all that may take some time and it's gonna give me. But when they are in the workspace, we are getting everything into the column itself. So that was one big good difference, or I'll say the one good point into the workspace. Let me go back to the workspace again. If you want enjoying your workspace, see, make default, not now. I don't want you to do it now. So you just simply click one more time into the table statics, into the column stats. You can just get it. Then click on the charts. Okay. Here, if you will look at it, then it's the same which we were having into the worksheet. So you can just create the charts, and it's the same, the pie chart, area chart, line chart, stack chart, and bar chart. I guess they have added this pie chart. Let's just check with the worksheet also whether we were having this pie chart or not. I guess I need to open this into a new window. So let me gonna do this. If I click on the chart section, yeah, they were not having this pie chart. So yes, they have added a pie chart, but do we have this heat grid or scorecard? So you can just compare it. That I was 100% sure about the pie chart, and then again you guys can explore it. What else have been added and what's not. But so far, I can see there are a couple of differences, couple of cool new things over here. So you can apply this charts, although I did not do any visualization so far into the Snowflake workspace. However, I've created a couple of dashboard on the using the Snowflake worksheet. So I'm sure they must have given some other differences also. So here, you can add it anything if you want. So we have the bar chart, we have the stack bar chart, line chart, area chart, pie chart. They don't have that scorecard, but probably that scorecard maybe we can utilize from the worksheet itself when you will be going further, when you will be creating any chart or something. Let's go back to the result pane. Now, once you're done with your result pane, then we do have a query history. So it is going to open for that particular file how many query you have executed, how much time they took, and if you will open the all files, so it is going to show you the complete output, or going to tell you that okay, whatever you have done into different files. So they're going to show you this output and like that. Okay, so whatever query you have executed, you're gonna get it over here with the query ID. And if you're gonna open the query ID, it is going to open the same window just like we were having into the worksheet. So there no change over here this time. I mean, that's a good actually. Otherwise, we could have been trying to understand that okay, what have been added, what not. Then next we do have, we can hide this pen, we can minimize this pen. So it's the same we were having into the worksheet too. Then we can go back to the home page. Here we do have some shortcuts for this workspace. So it's going to be the same what we were having. I mean, mostly it should be the same what we were having into the worksheet. Now, if you will click on this three dots, you can just format that SQL that we were having in our worksheet 2. Okay, now you can see this database explorer there. You can explore the schema and all. So suppose I wanted to write the data or I wanted to query this table, probably this views, it's gonna tell me. So you're gonna click on three dots and place name in editor. We have the other options too, like a preview, add columns, view definitions, add column in editors, that also we can do. So it's all the column from this. So that is again a very good thing. I guess this option was not into the worksheet. Maybe let's just try that. If we go over here, oh, it was there. Sorry, my bad. It was there. So yes, that all we have it for now. There is few other things like limitations. Now in the worksheet, there was a good thing that you can apply. If I'm going to write select star from customer, and you can write some filter where id equal to, and then you could have used this statement like this is the query filter. But that query filter is not going to work into the workspace. So if we talk about all the workspace limitations, the very first thing is that we cannot share those. The workspace are currently private to each user. Query filters not supported. So now you cannot like those filters will not run in workspace. And if you were having some existing worksheets which you are transferring into the workspace, that you have to remove it or adjust. When we do have this in the home page, suppose I'm going to write it as a youtube.sql. And let's just try that. When I go to the home page and if I write something YouTube, would I be getting that the workspace? No. So it saying that the files stored inside workspace won't appear in universal search results. So you will need to access them directly through the workspace. Next is that, oh, there is one more thing actually I forgot to show you before going. If I come over here, what you can do, click on settings and you can split the pane. That means now one window you can over here, one window you can over here, and then you can execute this code. Something like that. I'm not sure whether we will be having this select one. You can just walk over there and then select two. You can work there. So you can work like you can just split the pane and you can work in parallel, or you can work like one by one, whatever you're going to write over there, and you just wanted to compare with the existing worksheets so that you can do it. So that's another good thing. So coming to the workspace limitations, the no sharing, query filters not supported, not searchable in universal search. And if you are editing in the same file in the both UIs, then this mean you might lose unsaved changes. So it's best that you're gonna write it at the same, like you're gonna write it at one place at the same time. Then the execution settings not synced. So settings like role, warehouse, or namespace are not automatically synchronized between the new workspace and the old worksheet interfaces. And that's why we have to do it manually, or we have to set it up like although it's going to take a default one, but it's not going to be synchronized with the existing worksheets. So that's it for today. I hope you have a good idea about the new workspace, and tell me comment down whether you are going to like it or whether you're going to use it and replace with the existing worksheet. To be very frank, for the first time when I see it, I thought like, oh, maybe I'm going to lose my existing worksheet, but I'm glad that yes, you can even now go back to the previous UI, and if you're comfortable with the previous UI. Otherwise, when you're going to work on the workspace for like probably 1 week, I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it. So thank you for watching. Please give a thumbs up if you find it useful. Have a good day.